Happy Friday, and welcome to another edition of Burgers and Brats. We've got a lot to break down. A great first weekend NCAA March Madness. We're going to break down that, talk preview Sweet 16, Elite 8 matchups, and a lot happening in the NBA. Some high-profile trades happened yesterday, Thursday, in the NBA. It was fun. It's fun to watch, so we're here to break all that down, and I've got Cole Harris joining me right now. Cole, welcome back.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you having me again.
Give out your socials for anyone listening so they know where to find you.
Yeah, my Instagram is ColeTrainOU, so that's pretty much the one I'll give.
All right, everyone, make sure you can find us on any streaming service at Burgers&Brats, and follow us on any social media platform at Burgers&Brats. So let's break down round one, round two of March Madness. It's back. We finally got to watch some games. A lot of upsets. I know my bracket did not have many upsets, not as many as we saw here. Uh, Cole, I know this one we were texting about ORU winning their games. Your family actually picked ORU to win. I think maybe the only few people in the country that picked them to make it at least past the first round.
Yeah, my mom actually picked Oral Roberts to beat Ohio State. I did a little bit of convincing and got her off of it, but she was convinced, and a little bit was it the logic of it. They're in Tulsa and she wanted to root for him, but she ultimately was going to go Oral Roberts.
Yeah,
It was crazy. It was crazy.
They are America's team this year. I know Loyola Chicago's still in it, but Oral Roberts is America's team. Some top takeaways that I had from this past weekend: the Big Ten, highly overrated. Yes, you can say they beat each other up all season. They weren't playing each other in this tournament. They're playing different teams. There are 9 teams that went in. None of them played each other. Only one of them, Michigan, is heading to the Sweet 16. More teams from California, Los Angeles, are making it to the Sweet 16 than from the Big Ten, and more teams from Oregon are making it other than the Big Ten. Takeaway number 2, Pac-12. They're highly underrated. Bill Walton tried to tell us. None of us listened. I didn't listen. But they made 4 teams to the Sweet 16. They're getting hot. And then third takeaway, these games are just so much more fun to watch when you don't have a stake or a bracket. Just watching all these upsets: Loyola, Oregon State, UCLA, a bubble team, Oral Roberts. It was a fun weekend. What are some of your takeaways from this past weekend, Cole?
I was surprised about Oregon State.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised about that one. I had USC and Oregon, and I had Colorado in my Final Four, so I was kind of big on the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. The Big Ten was shocking. That was,
Only
to
one
have,
team out of 9 made it to the Sweet
yeah,
16. Most of them lost
yeah,
first round.
yeah. It was shocking. There's some of them that were like 5 to the 9 seed. I know Wisconsin was one of them. Wisconsin whooped up on North Carolina.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, had to play Baylor. But yeah, I was shocked about the Big 12. The Big 10.
Yeah, Purdue
Um,
loses to a Ohio team. I know a few people picked them, but still, they were a 4 seed.
yeah, I had Purdue. I think I had Purdue playing Baylor,
Yeah.
and they lost. Was it North Texas? They lost to.
Was it North Texas or Ohio? It was
Ohio was
it was North
Virginia.
Texas. Yeah, okay, it was North Texas then. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was a shocking upset as well. I had Purdue going to face Baylor, so it had them pretty deep. And then Abilene Christian beating Texas. That was the highlight of the weekend. Abilene Christian beat Texas 53-52. ACU only 3 3-pointers. They had more turnovers, 22, than they had made shots, 20, and they beat Texas. It's amazing to beat the top team in your state. We saw that with Loyola Chicago beating the top team in their state, Illinois. So little brother beat big brother in both those matchups. Seeing horns down after you get beat in March Madness, that it's always fun to see that as a Sooner fan.
It was amazing. Abilene it's in. That school's in Texas, so they're gonna have bragging rights forever. Um, Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite games of the first round, just because as an OU student, you love seeing Texas get beat. I spent my first year of college at Stephen F. Austin State University in East Texas. And so they were the Southern Conference, and Abilene Christian was the school that won the conference tournament that year. So I was definitely going for Abilene Christian, especially when they got the Texas matchup. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to go all in on this one.
I
So
mean,
that was awesome to see that.
I'm sure many of us had Texas in the Sweet 16 though, but it was worth it to watch them get a first round upset.
Yes.
uh, yeah, it was shocking to see, especially after Texas hit that shot with about 1 second left.
One of the things I was confused on when Oregon and VCU got canceled, where was the 4 teams that were literally waiting for a team to get COVID?
I saw this, I read this, I'm pretty sure this is right, but it had to have been set that Tuesday before the tournaments. That was the final day where they could bring in teams. Because I mean, they were in the bubble for already a few days, and there probably weren't going to be any COVID cases, but I guess there were. We saw that with Davion Harmon at OU and the whole VCU team. Said they got that during their conference tournament games at the hotel. I guess a bunch of refs and that team got it there. But I'm sure many of us had Oregon winning anyways. They look dominant. They look dominant coming off that not having to play, and then they got to study. Who they face?
Oregon beat Iowa.
Yeah,
And
Iowa.
I
They
mean, they
scored
didn't
95.
miss.
Yeah, they didn't miss, and because they had that extra time to study them as well too, so that did help them.
I felt for Luka Garza because Luka, I mean, he nearly scored 40. Was it 36, 38?
Yeah, it was something like that.
I mean, you tell me Luka scores 36. I say, one, they win the game. But if they lose, it's definitely not going to be double digits.
No, when they scored 80, you score 80 in a game, you should win, especially in college. You should win.
Yeah.
And then Syracuse, Buddy Boeheim, they outscore West Virginia. Syracuse only got 4 offensive rebounds, but they end up their deep shooting just ended up
shooter shoot,
man. That Syracuse team, bubble team as well, making it to the Sweet 16. They've got a good matchup. God, I did not expect that team, especially Syracuse, especially since they were a bowl team. And then ORU, Oral Roberts, upsetting Ohio State, and then Florida. ORU though, they need to hit more 3-pointers because their 3-point percentage is not that great, but they knock them down when they need it to, and they get the win somehow. I don't know how they do this because when you watch ORU, it's like I don't see them make a single 3, but they end up with a few.
That point guard's got crazy speed.
Yeah.
To drive by anybody. He's got the speed to drive by anybody. I mean, another one of the things talking about like the bubble teams, it was like Syracuse and UCLA was on that bubble during the conference tournaments, and it was going back and forth. Somehow they both got in, and somehow they're both in the Sweet 16. Yeah. So, like, also props to UCLA because I thought that was, I mean, they had Abilene Christian second round, so an easier matchup.
Yeah.
But to play the play-in game, beat Michigan State in a great game, then to play literally 3 games in 5 days, 5-6 days, major props to UCLA. That'll be a good game against Bama.
Yeah, especially when all of us had Michigan State winning, at least going to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Or the round of 32. And then shocking Oklahoma State. Cade Cunningham, they lose. He got 24 points, but he did not show up in the first half. I talked about this. Cade had to show up in the first half. They got down by 20, or they got down by almost 20. They did end up coming back and getting it within 3 to 5 points, but just not enough. Oregon State, they can go on a run. They might be a dangerous Sweet 16 team.
Yeah, the thing about Oregon State, I mean, doing my research going into the bracketology, because I mean, when the bracket's out, literally like the next hour, 2 hours, I'm just like looking at it. I don't wait 2 or 3 days. I don't watch, I don't wait for the play-in games. Like, I want to do my bracket right away. And so I was looking over Oregon State, and I thought their team was more defensive and their offense struggles at times. So yeah, it's been weird seeing them go on those runs. We'll see how it goes this next round.
Yeah, I mean these round of 32 games are pretty dominant. you had some pretty dominant wins. UCLA dominant. Gonzaga, they controlled the game. It wasn't a dominant blowout, but they controlled it. Alabama, Baylor, Oregon, USC. So it's going to be a fun Sweet 16. So let's preview Sweet 16 Elite 8 matchups. We'll give our Final Four at the end. Let's start with Villanova versus Baylor. So number 5 Villa versus number 1 Baylor. Villanova's surprising. I picked them to win. I didn't pick them to get upset in the first round, but missing their 2 best players, making it to the Sweet 16 is a big deal. Baylor, they're playing like midseason Baylor. They're playing like the Baylor we thought that was going to come in and dominate, and they're playing like it. 41% from the 3-point line. Three free throws, though, need to be much better. They're in the 60s on that. Nova needs offensive rebounds and second chance points. They struggle on that, but I think Baylor they're just too dominant for Villanova.
Yeah, I think Baylor's too dominant. I hopefully what I'm about to say is not gonna come back and be like, man, that didn't age well. But I don't really think this is gonna be much of a game. I think Baylor's too dominant. This could be a double-digit win. It could be. But yeah, Baylor's too athletic, and Villanova, like you said, missing their key players.
Yeah.
It was a great accomplishment to even get to the Sweet 16, in my opinion.
Yeah, great accomplishment.
And so I think they're happy where they're at. Obviously, every team that's left thinks they got the talent to win.
Yep.
And they truly believe that. But as an outsider, I'm gonna go ahead and choose Baylor, and I'm gonna choose Baylor by quite a bit.
Yeah. All right, let's talk number 11 Syracuse and those shooters, those lethal shooters, versus number 3 Houston and that defensive team. Syracuse, they barely made the tournament, but the Boeheim duo, coach and son, they're doing lights out, man. Houston, they played really well. They played really well this season on defense, especially, and I think that defense just shut down one of their shooters, shut down Buddy Boeheim, double team him, which they can do. They're very good on defense. So I'm not going to go upset. I'm going to go Houston. I think this is where the better teams start to thin out and move on.
Yeah, I think the 3 teams that all of America are going for right now is Syracuse, Loyola, Chicago, and Oral Roberts. So I think everyone's going to be cheering for Syracuse, but I think Houston's too athletic. I think this is where the run ends. It'll be a close game. I don't see it being. This one could be overtime, really. So I think the athleticism, the getting late into the game, knocking down free throws, that's what Houston does well. I think they pull it off.
Yeah. All right, Creighton. They've made it to the Sweet 16. A lot of them surviving a 1-point win in the first round. Many had that upset, including me. Faces the number 1 overall seed, Gonzaga. Gonzaga, they're unbeatable. Creighton, 65% from the free throw line. That's not going to win you games past the Sweet 16. Zaga, they are shooting 55% from the field. 55%. They're not slowing down. Gonzaga, I think this will probably be a massive blowout.
This game is unwatchable to me. Like you said, this was going to be a blowout. I think the Baylor and Gonzaga game this week, I think those ones are the ones that, okay, I can get some schoolwork done. I can study a little bit now. Those are not the ones that would be on the couch watching every possession, getting into the game, or betting on. I'll pay attention to those teams when they get to the Final Four.
Yeah, I wonder what the spread is on that one. I know OU, when they played OU, was 14.5. I guess we can check that out. Let's see. NCAA men's basketball. Saturday, play Sunday. So 13-point spread. So actually better than when they played OU. All right. Oregon State, number 12 seed versus Loyola Chicago. Loyola's getting, after that hard-fought win, they get a pretty decent matchup for this week. Loyola is the nation's best defense, only allowing 55.8 points per game, a leader in efficient and one of the leaders in efficiency. Both teams are pretty identical stats-wise. We saw OSU, Oregon State can get very, very hot. But they can also cool down and let teams back in the game, even being up 20 points. Everyone loves Sister Jean. I don't know what she's got. She's got some magical powers, because the way they beat that number 1 seed Illinois is one of my championship team, not my winner, but going to the championship team. They beat Illinois. They're gonna win. Sister Jean, she knows how to win. I think they get this dub over Oregon State.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good game. This is anytime Loyola is on, I'm going to be watching it. I mean, it's a fun team to watch in the tournament. All the excitement, the Sister Jean stuff you brought up. Like, I thought it was amazing that they showed the prayer that she did. That was pretty funny. She was analytical, throwing out numbers. I thought that was awesome. So yeah, I think Loyola Chicago, everyone will be going for them, but I'm not. I wouldn't put it behind Oregon State. This is Oregon State showing that they're a good team.
Yep.
So whatever the over under is, if we got any bettors that listen to this, take the under.
Take the under. Right.
I'm taking the under. I think Loyola's. Yeah, this game's going to be probably high 50s. Maybe one of the teams gets low 60s, but I think it's going to be a low scoring game, hard fought, and Loyola pulls it out.
All right, and then number 15 seed, the second ever 15 seed to reach the Sweet 16, and then the first being Florida Gulf Coast, who one of my personal favorite teams, favorite runs to ever watch, faces number 3 seeded Arkansas. Arkansas is a very good team. I had them in the Sweet 16, so I'm glad they could make it. One of my teams finally. But ORU, if they made it this far, Cole, why can't they go even further? This will be my upset pick. I'm just gonna do this. Arkansas, 73% from free throws. That's not great. ORU is the second best team for free throws in the 80s. I think it'll come down to a very close game. I'll just go ORU. I'll go Oral Roberts. We all love them. I'll just pick them. I don't know if it'll happen, but why not?
I'm the same way. I'm right there with you. After going against them both games, they've proved me wrong. I mean, if they go out and lose, I'm not gonna be like, dang it. But I'm definitely not gonna go against them. Let's let it ride, man. I want to see them play Baylor. Let's do it.
I mean, they made it. They beat Ohio State and they beat Florida. So those are great teams. They can beat Arkansas, is what I see on that. And then number 11 UCLA versus number 2 Bama. Bubble team faces the mighty Tide. Alabama's just good in everything, apparently. UCLA, they have the stats to make it a game. And can UCLA take advantage of the Alabama's 14 turnovers? They need to get turnover points. They need double digits in those, at least maybe 20. I think they can keep it close at least until the second half, deep in the second half. But I think Bama ultimately pulls it away in this one.
Yeah, I got Baylor winning.
Bama.
I got Bama winning. Baylor, Bama. Bama's good. Bama's got a pretty solid team. I mean, is Nick Saban recruiting for them or something? Because they're playing well, man. Who was their head coach a couple years? I mean, just a year ago, 2 years ago, he was fired. He used to coach the Mavs.
Oh, Rick Carlisle?
No.
Oh, used to coach the Mavs. I was like a year ago. Wait,
no,
Rick Carlisle has been there.
I'm blanking on the name, man.
Okay.
But the guy who Rick Carlisle took over for was at Bama for probably 3 or 4 years. When he left, the program went like straight up. I think Nick Saban's recruiting for him, man.
They get the same benefits, same financial benefits that the football team did, apparently. And then 2 more games to cover. Number 7, Oregon versus number 6, USC. So 2 Pac-12 teams are made in the Sweet 16. Both dominating wins, just amazing wins. All 5 Duck starters, all 5 of Oregon starters average a double-double. That's insane. Brothers Evan and Isaiah Mobley for USC dominating the inside with shooting and shot blocking. I think it'll be a back and forth game. But I saw that stat 5 of their starters average double-double. I'm going Oregon, and how they scored 95 against Iowa. So I'll go the Ducks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the Ducks too. I think this is gonna be probably one of my favorite games to watch, up there with Loyola and Oregon State. This is probably gonna be one of my favorite games to watch. I'm not even necessarily thinking of it as like, all right, we're playing to lose against Gonzaga, because I mean these are teams that could hang in there with Gonzaga, I think. I know you were talking about the Pac-12 being a little weak earlier, but I mean, I was
I think
all
they're
in on the
dominant
Pac-12.
now. I'm all in on the Pac-12. I think
Yeah,
they're
I
the best
mean,
conference now.
yeah, I want to see whichever team win this game give Gonzaga a fight because man, their path to the Final Four, it's looking pretty easy. They don't have to play Kansas, Iowa, Virginia. Those are the top four teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and Creighton's a very weak 5 seed in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So I want to see a good matchup. Whoever plays Gonzaga, I'll be going for.
All right, and then our final matchup. This one should be the best. I think this one's going to be a great game. This is my second upset pick. I don't know. Some people are picking it for Florida State versus number one Michigan. I think Michigan's the second number one seed to go out. FSU defense is just oriented, holding the first two opponents they face to under 55 points. 10-man, they've got a 10-man rotation, and they're all veterans. Michigan, they appear back on track though after losing 3 of their last 5 before entering the tournament. They're playing very good even without Livers. But without Livers, that's going to hurt them, and I think Florida State's just too good on defense, and they've been playing lights out on offense. So I'm going with the Seminoles to beat number one seed Michigan.
Yeah, my opinion on this game should not be taken seriously. I don't really know much about Florida State to begin with. That's why I just chalked Colorado from the get go. But I'm gonna take Michigan. Don't know much about Florida State, but I know Juan Howard for Michigan is going to have his guys ready, and uh, I liked him growing up. Watched the Fab Five, love him, so I'm gonna go with the coach here.
All right. And then final 4 teams. Who you got in the final 4?
I'm gonna go with Gonzaga, Bama, Loyola, Chicago, and what is it?
Baylor and ORU.
Baylor and Oregon. I'm gonna go Baylor. Yeah.
Well, Cole, we have the exact same final 4. Gonzaga, Alabama, Baylor, and Loyola, Chicago. If Loyola can make it that 1 year, 2 years ago, they can make it again this year. We're all rooting for Loyola. It'll be a tough matchup if they play Houston, but they can definitely get it done. Sister Jean knows how to win. Anything else on this preview for the second weekend of NCAA March Madness?
No, so if you had Illinois in your championship, which of the two, Baylor or Loyola, would you put in it now?
Baylor.
Baylor.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, Baylor for sure. I do
Yeah,
trust them more.
Baylor's too athletic.
Yeah, and I trust them more to beat ORU than I do Loyola to beat Houston.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, let's move into on this day in history. So the year 31, the year 31 was the first Easter. And then 1934, the first Masters tournament winner, Horton Smith. That's coming up in 2 weeks. And then 1972, the Lakers break the NBA record for winning 69 out of 82 games. Record stood for 24 years till the Bulls, and then finally the Warriors have the record now. And then some birthdays. Happy birthday to Elton John, Aretha Franklin, and Joseph Barbara. Everyone, make sure you're following us on any podcasting streaming service at Burgers&Brats, and follow us on any social media platform at Burgers&Brats. So let's move into some sports headlines now. Mac Brown signs a contract extension through 2025 with UNC. He took him to a New Year's Six Bowl in his second season. Sam Howell's back. They've done pretty good recruiting trail. They don't have to worry about Notre Dame this year. Just worry about Clemson. How far can this team go, Cole?
I would put them anywhere from. I'm not going to count them out the playoffs. I'll put them anywhere from 4 to 10. And if they do worse than that, it was a down year. I'm shocked to see Matt Brown doing this well. I thought he took this job and was wanting to rebuild the program and get them to the top 20, then hand it off to some young coach. Same thing I thought with Les Miles in Kansas. I thought he wanted to rebuild the program. But yeah, UNC's there. They're trying to win now. They've done great recruiting, and I'm shocked Mac Brown is done what he's been able to do.
I am shocked as well. I did not know they'd be that good, especially in his second year. I think they should they probably should face Clemson in the ACC championship this next year. Other than that, I think it's probably a bust year. That's how far this North Carolina team has come. So I love the contract extension for Matt Brown. Some other NFL free agency news. I know I talked about this last week. The Ndamukong Suh signs a 1-year, $10 million re-signs with the Bucks. Are these Bucks teams going to be going back to the Super Bowl, Cole? Signing everyone back?
Yeah, well, I mean, who would bet against Brady? I've done it before.
Yeah.
I've done it before, and I learned from my mistakes. I had.
I'm 3-7 betting against him. Yeah, I'm 3-7 betting against Brady. Not a good.
Yeah, I think for the Super Bowl, the spread was -3, and I took the Chiefs just because I had the Chiefs winning to begin with, and Brady again. I betted against him in the NFC Championship, cost me, and the Super Bowl. So I'm not going against Brady anymore.
Nope.
I don't care if he's 50.
And then Joe Flacco signs a backup deal with the Eagles. Is he the backup or the starter, Cole?
He's the backup. I saw an article where he said he got the job to not the job. He signed the contract to compete for the starting job. He ain't beating Jalen Hurts. No. There's no way. It's not happening. Did he even beat out Sam Darnold, or did Sam Darnold get hurt?
Sam Darnold got hurt.
Sam Darnold got hurt. Yeah, he's not a starter. A second role, be a mentor. You already won a Super Bowl. Like, enjoy the rest of your career mentoring someone else.
Yeah, you were elite for a short period of time, but go teach Jalen Hurts how to win in Philadelphia. They should be able to take the conference next year, or the division. Maybe watch out for the Giants. But NBA trade, some headlines. The 76ers acquired George Hill for Tony Bradley, Terrence Ferguson, and sending 2 first-round picks to Oklahoma City. So Terrence Ferguson's coming back to OKC. Austin Rivers is also going to OKC. Thoughts on that deal?
I didn't even see that one, but I like that Terrence Ferguson's coming back. I like that Austin Rivers. You said they get and 2 first-round picks. Who they give up?
Yeah, Oklahoma City got a lot. They got Tony Bradley, Terrence Ferguson, and 2 future first rounds, and Austin Rivers. It's a lot for George Hill.
George Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I think Oklahoma City won that one.
Same. And then the Hawks are trading Rajon Rondo, who's only averaging about 4 or 5 points a game this year, to the Clippers for Lou Williams and 2 second-round picks and some cash. Clippers got bamboozled on this. I know playoff Rondo, he can show up, but Lou Williams is what? How many times has he won 6th Man of the Year? 5 times at least. And you're sending 2 second-round picks and some cash. So I think the Hawks won this trade for sure.
Yeah, I mean, are the Hawks trying to make a push? There are so many games back right now, right? But
yeah, they're in 7th.
They're in 7th?
They're in 7th right now.
Oh, they must have got hot.
Yeah, so
I mean, that could be a good addition, is Lou Williams. Clippers did get bamboozled on that one.
They're only.
I feel like they need Lou Williams. They needed Lou Williams to make, these, whether it's the Lakers or Denver, even the Jazz, they need Lou Williams, and that's going to hurt them.
Yeah, it feels like the Clippers just don't want to win, but the Hawks are only half a game out of 4th place. They're in 7th right now.
Jeez.
Half a game out of 4th. And then the Magic, they had a going out of business sale going on today. The Magic trade Evan Fournier to the Celtics. Do not Google his last name like he said you should. And then the Magic also trade Nikola Vucevic to Chicago for Wendell Carter and Otto Porter. Thoughts on that one first?
On the Bulls one?
Yeah. They got they sent Nikola Vucevic, who's a great center, or Wendell Carter and Otto Porter.
They lose this trade, and it's not even close. because Wendell Carter and Otto Porter, these are guys that can be like easily replaced. They're ballers, but they can be easily replaced in free agency. And to get a top 5, arguably, he's probably second best center behind Jokic.
Second best.
He, you don't think
Top
he's that
5.
high?
No. Jokic is the number 1, followed by Joel, followed by Cat. And then I think you can put Vucevic 4 to 5.
I put him over Cat.
Just because how bad you can do that because just how bad the
Yeah, I put him over Cat. I totally forgot about Joel Embiid there for a second.
Yeah, Joel and Nikola are the
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yeah, he's third in my book. He's definitely top 5, but he's third in my book. He's a great player. To get that guy on your team, 2 first-round picks
with Zach LaVine
that's okay. They're in win now mode. The Bulls are telling themselves this pick we're giving up shouldn't be any lower than the high teens because we're trying to win now. We're trying to make moves. So yeah, I think they lost this one.
And the Bulls are in 10th seed right now. They are 1.5 back from 8th seed. So it's tie race.
They probably going to take that 8 spot.
Yeah.
This is a guy you add to your team that where's Boston at on the standings now? Last time I was on here, they were 9th.
They're 8th right now.
Boston's 8th. So this is a team. The Bulls are they are not good defensively. They've struggled. They're always in high scoring games. So they got to fix that part. But they're going to sneak in.
I think they have a great shot right now. Magic also trading Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets. We talked about this one earlier today. They trade Aaron Gordon to the Nuggets for Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a first-round pick. As a Nuggets fan, I'm okay with this. RJ Hampton was looking really good. He's really young. He's probably going to be a pretty good player. Gary Harris, Denver loves him. We love him. The fan base loves him, but he's not been the same since his injury since last year. I'll take Aaron Gordon any day of the year. He's a great player, and we're keeping Bol, so it's okay. I'm keeping Bol, so I'm happy. Good trade for Denver.
Yeah, I think I was a little against this one earlier today when I was talking to you. I felt highly of Gary Harris, and I think he's a good player. The first round pick's going to be in the high 20s. They're going to be in the quarterfinals, semifinals. They're going to be there. So that pick it's really not much in my opinion. But I'm not high on Aaron Gordon as well. So it could go either way.
So Gary Harris is averaging 9, 2, and 1. 9, 2, and 1. So not great.
Okay, so what was Gary Harris doing? What was he doing in 2018 and 19?
2018-19, he was averaging doubles. He was fire, but he just hasn't been the same since he got injured. So Aaron Gordon is averaging. He's only averaging 14, 15, 6, and 5. It looks like. So, a little better, but Aaron Gordon, you got that wow factor too with the dunking, and you got the throw now, man. He's looking good.
I didn't know Gary Harris fell that low after his injury. I know he got injured. Like I didn't know he was 9. Was it 9, 3, and 1? What you said, or 9, 5?
Yeah, 9, 4, and 1 or something like that.
I didn't know it was that bad. So yeah, that sounds like a good trade.
Yeah,
You've convinced me.
We had Gary Harris in the bubble last year, fully healthy. Could have been a lot better story for my Nuggets. And then one that broke after the trade deadline, Victor Oladipo is heading to the Miami Heat for Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk, and a 2022 first-round pick. Miami Heat let's see where they're standing. The Heat.
That's a good one for the Heat.
Yeah, they've been playing a lot better basketball. As of
they've been kind of cold lately. They've played some really good teams, but I think they lost 4 in a row.
So they're in the 5th seed right now. 1 game back or half a game back. No, 1 game back, half a game back from the 4 seed, but 6 games back from the 3 seed. So 1 through 3 are pretty set, but after that, Heat 5th seed right now. They are. Let's see if it tells me here. Yeah, 4-game losing streak.
How far back is the 3 seed from the 1 seed?
7, 6.5. And
Yeah,
then
so
all
that,
those are separated by 1.5 from 4 to 10.
jeez,
Yeah, so it's
it's
a
wide
cool.
open.
It's
They're all
wide
beating
open.
up on each other.
Miami plays Portland tonight, so maybe it might be a little different.
That's why I said the East is deeper. They're not better. They're deeper.
They're not better, but they have more teams that can make the playoffs.
I want to correct myself from
Yeah,
last time I
correct
was on the
yourself.
pod.
The East is not better. Say that. The East is not
The
better,
East is not better. It is much deeper.
but not the good, not great team deeper. They're just
Yeah.
more abundant. Yeah. Okay. Any other trades that we haven't talked about that you saw that you want to discuss?
No, I mean I didn't see the Oladipo one. That's a good one though. I mean, Kelly Olynyk, Avery Bradley, and one first-round pick.
Yeah, 2022. And it'll
Even
probably
if
be
you
a
rent
pretty
him,
late pick.
and he signs elsewhere, this is a move that he needed to make if they want to get back to where they were in the bubble.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is good for the Heat.
Yeah, because Oladipo's contract ends this summer, I believe. So they're
Yeah, he's a free agent.
so
A
yeah,
lot of guards though, man. Butler, Hero,
yeah.
Robinson, and now you add Oladipo. They're going to be rotating. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be good to go.
It's
This
gonna
is
be
this is
good.
a dangerous team.
But yeah, Miami, I think did very good getting Oladipo. It's gonna work out in Miami. So any other sports headlines, trade news that you
Deadline's over with, right?
yes.
So
We're
Lowry
probably
didn't get.
no Lowry and Lonzo are staying put.
Okay. Yeah,
So yeah.
that's about it, man. There's some good
Before
ones in there.
yeah, there are some good ones. But actually, I didn't ask you. Probably won't have you back on before this. But who wins March Madness? Who's your championship teams and who wins?
Illinois. I had Illinois winning it all. That's over with. But
Who do you have now?
I mean, the brain says Gonzaga, man. How can you go against an undefeated team that's,
Yeah.
putting up 80 easily? I mean, Oklahoma's a great
Average 90,
defense.
yeah.
Oklahoma's a great defense, and I still said, they're going to get 80 on us. So they're gonna score. I mean, they would put 80 on Loyola Chicago, I think, or 75.
Who do you have you have Loyola in the
No, I'm just saying
okay,
if it comes to that,
okay.
they're still gonna put 75 or 80 on them, and Loyola won't be able to keep up, and it'll be one of those not much watch final game. But
So who
man,
does
brain
Gonzaga
says.
play?
I'm sorry.
Who does Gonzaga beat in the championship? Baylor?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Baylor.
All right. Yeah, I think so as well. I'm on board.
Yeah, if Loyola doesn't make the Final Four and it ends up being Houston Baylor would be a good matchup because both teams are athletic.
Yeah.
I would still take Baylor, and then I would take a 7-point victory for Gonzaga in the championship. That's probably where the spread would be at.
All right. Let's move into our final segment. Who would you share a burger and brat with? I'll start. Sad news that we just learned. Lon Kruger is retiring after 44 years of coaching. He's been in the coaching world for 44 years. Spent the last 10 at the University of Oklahoma. Brought us out from the deaths of just a cesspool. 7 NCAA tournaments here, 2 Sweet 16s, and 1 Final Four. So he's had a great record here at OU. Total record overall 673, 432, 27th all time in wins. It was fun having Lon Kruger here. We're gonna miss him a lot. Should be. It was great having Lon Kruger. Glad we got him out of retirement to come here for 10 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of OU fans that are, the Buddy Hield years, the Trae Young year. I mean, Trae Young year we got knocked out in the first round, but I mean, there's a lot that say he's underperformed, and it's just guys, it's just fans that are, spoiled. I think he's a great coach. Yeah. He was rated, of the 64 coaches in the bracket, he was rated number 7. So I think, we're gonna miss Lon Kruger. It's gonna be interesting to see who we get. Maybe that guy from Oral Roberts.
That's what I heard. he coached 17 seasons in the Big 12 at Baylor. He's been not head coach but assistant, so he's got some Big 12 experience. So it should be interesting to see if they go after him. Only a trip up the turnpike.
That'll be a good one.
Who would you like to share your burger and brat with?
I'm gonna split my meals here a little bit. I'm gonna take my brat and share that with my mom. Just I'm amazed that she chose Oral Roberts, and I went against her. I told her not to do it. I feel bad. At least I could share a brat with her. So I think that makes it up. But I'm gonna go to Iona and share my burger with Rick Pitino, because this coach amazes me, man. Just he got beat against Bama and was literally immediately asked, "You think about taking a job elsewhere?" I loved his answer. I mean, I love the small schools. Going to SFA, always the 12 to 16 seed. I always pay attention to those teams. So I love that he was not even hesitating, saying, "No, I don't want to be anywhere else." Forever, I was chasing a job, chasing money, and trying to win championships. And now I was coaching players, and now I'm coaching men. I get to see their families. I get to be part of their lives, help them find their jobs. I love doing that more than actually coaching the game of basketball. And I mean, he's older, but he's probably 70s now.
He's old,
right?
yeah.
So I was happy to see that. He said he wants to be at Iona for the next 7-8 years. So I mean, I love that. I mean, just wanting to do more for his players than just coach basketball, because at the end of the day, this is just a game.
Yeah.
So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, hopefully we see more of Iona in the tournament. And your mom, she almost picked ORU to go farther, but she could have got a few extra brats, but you told her no,
Yeah.
don't pick ORU.
She probably still would have Oral Roberts in the Sweet 16, and she would. I mean, she has Arkansas Sweet 16, and I think she wanted Oral Roberts in the Sweet 16. So yeah, she would have had those right, and that's insane.
Yeah.
I convinced her not to. I said, "Mom, this isn't going to happen." She doesn't watch basketball at all. I have to give her a little bit of information.
It's always the ones who don't watch it. Always has the best bracket.
I know, right?
Colt, thank you again for joining me on Burgers and Brats.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Give out your socials for anyone listening so they can know where to find your sports takes.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram though, ColtTrainOU. I post on my story more than my profile, so
Same here.
Don't follow me.
Everyone, thank you all for listening. Find me on any podcasting streaming service at Burgers&Brats. Follow me on any social media platform at Burgers&Brats. Thank you all for listening. Should be a great, fun weekend in March Madness.